PQ. 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 PQ.
Black Lives Don't Matter.
Black Lives Don't. Oh, that's gonna be a good beginning to this troglodyte, uncivilized cave bigots like you that shake their head as soon as a black activist says they're looking for white people that care.
Exactly, man.
Don't get in my face, brother.
Totally.
Don't get in my. I'm not the one.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
What's your name?
Totally.
What's
None
your
of
name?
business.
Okay, just seeing if he was dumb enough to tell me what it was. You got something else to say, white man?
Joke. You're a joke.
I know you laugh at black
You're a
activists.
total joke.
I know you laugh at black
Black,
activists.
white, whatever
You're on the
you are.
raw. You're on the right side of history, huh?
You're a douchebag.
Yeah. All I said was looking for white people who care.
It's coming for
It's
you.
coming for me. I hope it does.
It
I got
is.
something waiting for
You're
it.
going to be taking a knee.
I'm gonna be
You're
taking a
gonna be
knee.
taking
I'm gonna be taking. You hear this man trying to throw out some facile-minded,
You are.
historically
You're gonna
illiterate,
be taking a
bigoted
knee in
shit?
front of God and Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Definitely.
You think
You
Jesus
are.
works with you?
Definitely.
This is how Jesus
If
told you
you're
to talk to
anti
people?
this bullshit,
This is how
it's gonna
Jesus
go
told you
right
to talk to
before
people.
the Lord.
What? You got a white Jesus on your wall, don't you? You got a white Jesus, don't
I
you?
have no images.
Yeah. Oh, you're okay. You're iconoclast. You're
I got
iconoclast.
images of Jesus
You're
right here in my heart,
iconoclastic
and
apocalypse.
You're going to pray. You're going to
Oh,
pray and talk
you're
like
stuttering
that.
now. He's shaking and stuttering. Go eat your breakfast, man. You need some blood sugar.
Breakfast.
Yeah,
It's nighttime.
your mentals is
Fool.
not really working.
No, it
You
is.
look like you
It's-
just
it
got
is.
up.
You're a
You look
fucking
like you
piece of
just
shit,
got up.
dude. You're
You
a
look like
fucking
you
piece of
just woke
shit.
up. You need some blood
You're a
sugar.
fucking piece
You're not
of
doing
shit.
so well, white man. This is how Jesus taught you to talk to black activists?
I talk to pieces of shit.
Pieces
like
of shit?
That.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? The white
didn't make it
troglodyte.
out of high school.
I know you don't think good of black people. I know you think low of black people. I know it.
I love Jimmy.
You love culture. You love
I
consuming.
love Jimi Hendrix.
You love consuming black
He wouldn't
culture.
Jimi Hendrix
Oh,
would
you
never
love
do this
consuming black
bullshit.
culture, but you don't like black people. I see it.
Jimi
That's that
Hendrix is a
colonizing
kid.
white
You
shit
just
y'all
talk
do.
over people.
Colonizing
You're
white
scared,
shit. He
dude.
consumes
You're
black.
scared
I'm
that
scared.
you're fucking
I'm
loose.
facing.
Let's
I'm
go
a
look
tough
up
guy.
Jimi Hendrix.
He's over here cussing me
Let's
out
go.
in my face.
I'm not cussing
Look up.
you out.
Look up my own culture. You want me to look up my own culture, white man?
It's not a culture.
Okay,
Jimi
so
Hendrix
you
is a man.
so you listen to Jimi Hendrix.
They was going to castrate me and then hang me and bury me. I was 19 years old, and there I am bleeding like a pig hanging up in the tree, ready to be slaughtered like a hog.
This clip comes from a 2019 documentary called Ashes to Ashes. It followed Winfred Rimbert, an artist who survived an attempted lynching in Georgia in 1967. In this clip, Rimbert describes the moment his attackers were preparing to castrate and hang him. He was 19, strung up by his feet, bleeding, expecting to die. What saved him wasn't mercy. It was one man in the mob deciding they had better things to do with him. Decades later, he still lives with the weight of that night. He has trouble sleeping. He's haunted by nightmares that put him right back in that tree. Surviving didn't mean escaping it. He's been carrying it every day since.
At the time I was 14, I ran away from not home, but I ran away from the cotton field. I joined the civil rights movement at 14 years old. When you are part of the movement, you make a name for yourself. And all the white people know you. And they are waiting to get their hands on you. I stayed in jail over a year with no charges. So I took a roll of toilet paper, stuck it in the jar, flooded the jail. And when the sheriff came back, he came back and he was going through the nigger thing with me. He kicked me 2 or 3 times. And about the 3rd time he kicked me, I decided I wouldn't let him kick me anymore. Grabbed his legs and I threw him to the ground. And he went for his gun. I took it away from him. And he's begging me not to shoot him. So I said, well, I'm not going to shoot you, but I'm going to lock you up. So I locked him in a cell and I fled. Went to this house of civil rights workers, I thought. The woman answered the door. I told her what had happened. She went in the next room and called the police. Next thing I know, every white man in Custer, Georgia, standing out there in the yard. Threw me in the trunk of the car. About a 30-minute ride, and when they opened up the trunk, I saw these ropes hanging from the tree, nooses. A place designed, looked like to hang people. When they put the rope up around my feet, pulled me up in the tree, here comes the deputy sheriff that I locked in the cell. And he's got a knife. And he come up and he grabbed my private parts. And he took his knife and he stuck me. They was going to castrate me and then hang me and bury me. I was 19 years old, and there I am bleeding like a pig hanging up in the tree, ready to be slaughtered like a hog. And then another white man grabbed his arm and told him, don't do that. So we got better things we can do with this nigga.
Racism feels insane to me. And it is insane. Y'all need to get therapy. I don't know why more of America isn't talking about this. And leave black people alone and not let your insanity drive us insane. Because that's what you're trying to do. And they have done a very good job. So I have come to the conclusion as a 70-year-old black man living in America, we cannot fix white people. We haven't been able to fix them in 400 years. We cannot fix them. White people must fix white people. We can't fix you. We have failed. You got to fix you. But we can fix ourselves. That's the most.
Negro, did you know? Come on, there's a whole lot more to know.
Did you know there are now more than 120,000 automated license plate reader cameras operating across America? And if you're sitting there thinking, what cameras? Exactly. They're called ALPRs, and one of the largest networks belongs to a company called Flock Safety. You've probably driven past one and didn't even know what you were looking at. But every time a vehicle passes one of these cameras, it can record the license plate, characteristics of the vehicle, and exactly when and where it was seen. Now listen to this. Flock cameras are reportedly capturing around 20 billion license plate scans every month. Billion, with a B. Now, no, that doesn't mean somebody put a GPS tracker on your car. But if one camera sees your car here, another one sees it 20 miles away, and another one sees it somewhere else, those individual sightings can create a searchable record of where that vehicle has been seen. And thousands of law enforcement agencies use this technology. Now, to be fair, there's a reason police want it. They say it helps recover stolen vehicles, identify suspects, and even locate missing or endangered people. And that last one caught my attention, because in 2025 alone, nearly 500,000 missing person entries were entered into the FBI's national database. More than 305,000 involved juveniles. That's roughly one missing person entry every minute. So yes, if these cameras can help bring somebody home, that's important. But here's where I have questions. If we're collecting 20 billion license plate scans every month, how much information about innocent people's everyday movements should be sitting in a searchable system? And who's making sure nobody abuses it? Because that part isn't hypothetical. Law enforcement officers have already been accused of misusing license plate reader systems, including allegations that officers used them to stalk women. And now, cities across America are starting to reconsider, reject, and even cancel these systems because of privacy concerns. Flock says it's responding with stronger safeguards, more accountability for searches, and shorter data retention periods. But this story is bigger than whether these cameras are good or bad. It's about what we're willing to give up in exchange for safety. Because 120,000 cameras and 20 billion scans a month is a whole lot of information being collected about people who aren't accused of anything. So the next time you're driving down the street, look up. Because once you know what these cameras look like, you start seeing them everywhere. Well, now you know.
Whole lot more to know.
PQ.
Welcome to the show.
PQ.
Man, I miss those long openings. Listen, guys. So we're back again. All right. You know why we're here. You know what we do. You see who's here this evening. So you know you've locked in for us at least another couple hours. You're going to get nothing but the information that you need. All right. Turn your phone sideways for full screen access. Hold on, let me put that on the screen. Please rotate your device. Please rotate your device. Good evening, family. Miss YSKT. Mr. Porter is here with us this evening. Miss Salita's here. How are y'all this evening?
Doing fine. Doing fine. How is everybody?
Are you messing with my mute button?
Nobody's messing with your mute button. Mr. Porter, are you in Portugal still?
I'm not in Alexandria, but
there we go.
He's in Saudi Arabia.
I'm not
He's in
abroad.
Saudi Arabia.
I'm not abroad either. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's good. That's good. They're close enough to holler. As you guys may be able to tell, I don't know where to start at. I really don't. But we can start with first. There was a city council meeting today. We will get through some of that. I'm not promising we'll get through all of it. We'll probably save some for Thursday. So there was a city council meeting today, but there's a lot of other stuff that we need to talk about. We collectively, UCN, YSKT, the Kelly B. Frank Show, we recently just had a very virulent interaction with the campaign page for Jock Roy.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I got to start somewhere.
We know how to move on from stuff.
Yeah, we do. We keep it moving.
You hesitate.
We keep it moving. We're really good at keeping it moving.
Did you hear me?
What? We can't hear you. What are you saying?
She on mute.
She got to stop it. She put herself on mute. I guess she'll come back around. Yeah, we had this back and forth with the campaign page for Jock Roy, and it was for me, it was eye-opening because I was like, the audacity. What did it feel like for you, Miss YSKT?
Say again.
How did interacting and getting the answers and responses we were getting, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel like it came directly from the mayor.
You know,
they have the same personality of the mayor.
It does. Has the same talking points.
I mean, blocked, really?
Yeah. Oh, well, see, that was the rest of the story. I forgot to mention that part. So we ended up getting blocked simply because we brought up the fact of there was a couple of facts that we brought up. He was talking about, let me see what I can find. Because like I said, we've been blocked. So let me see if I can find any information on that particular post. No, we didn't take screenshots. We didn't expect to have to.
On my phone, I probably have them on my personal device.
Oh yeah, You can't even type his name in. Oh yeah, that's a wrap on that. Yeah, that's a wrap on that. Yeah, we're out of the campaign page. Yeah, that's that on that. But yeah, we talked a little about how
Oh, I do have some screenshots. I'll send them through.
All right, good. Thought we were gonna be able to have to freestyle it.
We're always prepared.
One of us got to be prepared. Let's switch my accounts. Yeah, Jockey. He was pretty upset. He was pretty upset. If that was him. I brought up Bethel Apartments, and he wanted to go in depth on what the real cause of Bethel Apartments, the downfall of Bethel Apartments was. But I simply pointed to the fact that throughout multiple administrations, only one of them not being his, but throughout multiple administrations, the inspections and the code department simply did not do their due diligence in that particular apartment complex. Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
I didn't catch yours because I thought you would have had your own Slack.
No, I didn't. Absolutely not.
But now I know I gotta cut your Slack too.
Yeah, well, that's okay. We all gotta help each other. Let me see how I can make this
Yeah.
bigger.
You gotta zoom in for the people because this is too silly.
There we go. I told him to rotate the screen. You rotate the screen, you can see the whole thing.
But
Good
what if you on your computer or something?
Then you can go full screen on the computer too.
Okay, let me go full screen, dude.
Yeah, you hit the little square at the bottom.
Okay, I know.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
was just letting you know, man.
let's go.
All right. So the original comment was, what about all the old money in Alexandria that you are helping stay in business? That's the real reason those businesses are backing you and won't say anything. We figured that out years ago. So Jock the Boat response is, you are Shamir Finley, coordinating with Nat Turner or Danny Payne, his real name. Danny Payne, aka Nat Turner, does not even live in Alexandria. Your posts are deliberately dishonest on behalf of Malcolm Larberdane's campaign, which you support. Post on his campaign pages, but more importantly, learn facts and stop being influenced. Use your young platform to lead, not mislead. Provide an example of old money businesses the mayor used the city resources to help stay in business, or go look at the mayor's office, go look at who the mayor's office does business with at the fets and for events, but you won't like the story it tells. It will be an inconvenient truth to your deception. So, for those of you that may not know, that was a bland, pickled attempt at trying to dock somebody, right? Because you have the right to anonymity on the internet. If you are using another name on the internet, there is a reason why you're using that name, and you shouldn't have to worry about people trying to expose you for whatever reason. And it's not even an exposure. But if I'm using YSKT, then that's the account you're interacting with. You saying my name or saying Nat's name or none of this other weird shit you were doing, right? And listen, I'm also sad that you didn't get the part. I warned Jock. I told Jock, I said, you should, mate, I think those pictures are actually in our inbox. I said that you should watch this interaction because this is not going to be beneficial. I said, this is going to get ugly. I told him that early on in the conversation. And I knew what was going to happen. I absolutely knew what was going to happen. So he then goes on to talk about it's the early start of dirty campaigning. Shamir Finley is spreading lies specifically to assist Malcolm Larberdane's campaign, including false claims about the Bethel Apartments. The accusations are baseless. Shamir Finley and YSKT are dishonest platforms and synonymous voices. This is what to expect of the Larverdane model. purposeful, coordinated posting on our campaign pages with a mix of bots and campaign comments. Just look at the groupings of comments and who does it. It is apparent. Nat Turner, Danny Payne, Shamir Finley, YSKT, and Ned Nab, all along with others, agreed to help Malcolm Lawverdain. Fact number 1, Bethel Apartments was formed in 1969, so the mayor was not yet alive. So she says, y'all mad and it's only August. We got a long way until November. Dang, why y'all mad at Malcolm? What if I was gonna vote for you? Here's the problem, Jock the Vote. What you just did was libel, slander even, defamation of character even, to say that we're political in that manner where we're a part of a team of coordinated attacks. Sir, you're a lawyer. You should know better than to say those things about people in public spaces. Is that why you deleted the comments? There's always somebody taking a screenshot. That's why I told you should be careful what you say. The thing is, I knew for a fact, Jock, if this was in fact Jock, what we were talking about and the topics we were engaging in, when I challenged him to get with Jim Villar and hold a forum so the people could ask you questions that weren't filtered, that weren't previewed like you normally do, real questions from the citizens. That's when all hell broke loose and he wanted to shut the page down. But I don't give a damn. That offer is still staying. The people that I know that are running have no issue with that whatsoever. But it's funny that the only time that you're willing to speak is when it's under your conditions, under your purview, under your circumstances. And this ain't no state of the city temper tantrum era. You know, this ain't the Terror Dome neither. You know, so all you got to do is pick a date before the month of November, and that way people can coordinate with these campaigns and we can have an open forum in a town hall meeting setting where people can ask you real questions that you don't get to preview, that you have to answer. And you can bring Jim Villar, you can bring Gary Johnson, you can bring your whole little slew of lackeys that are candidates. That's all you have to do. And we can skip past all this. We can get to the bottom of a lot of stuff if you would just have an open forum meeting with what we've been asking for the city to do is to have a town hall for years, but you never want to do that because you're too afraid of what the people might actually say. But that's okay. That's okay. But for you to say that we're coordinating and a part of, man, so Dirk Mannheim, who watches this show, he says, Mr. Mayor, one peril of modern social media landscape is the comment swarm. And yes, sometimes those swarms are coordinated, but often it's just the effect of regular folks who seek to use their voice to influence. I do not believe this particular swarm is coordinated, and it is certainly not coordinated by Malcolm. The reality is that some folks dislike you and your policies more than they like any particular candidate. So they'll rally behind whoever has the strongest chance to defeat you. Explicitly claiming that Malcolm is coordinating efforts to swarm your social is tantamount to defamation. To use your favorite phrase, bring the receipts. It only benefits your campaign to paint Malcolm as a dirty fighter. It will probably galvanize your supporters like myself. Perhaps the most interesting part of this comment thread is the fact that the only folks who spoke on your behalf are your campaign pages. I wish you well, and I hope for a clean campaign season. I'll be encouraging Malcolm to stay on the high road, and I hope Nat and Shamir can do as well. Maybe if he came from a white person, Jock would listen.
I still have issues with what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with that last.
Yeah, you don't tell us how we need to.
We always take
we don't
the
do
high
that.
road.
No,
We take the high road for the most part.
Whatever.
But this
I'm all about taking it to hell. I really am.
But this time, There's no such thing.
Right.
One thing you're not going to do is tell us how we need to conduct ourselves. I don't care what he tells
then
Malcolm, but
look.
he's not going to tell us how we're going to conduct ourselves
Look
in
at
this.
this.
In this, what's the
Early
name?
started dirty campaigning. Shamir Finley is spreading lies specifically to assist Malcolm Larberdane's campaign, including false claims about, okay, this is what to expect. All right, comments, just look at the group. Okay, Nat Turner, Danny Payne, Shamir Finley, YSKT, and Nessim Dow, along others, agree to help Malcolm Fact. Fact number one, Ja. Sir, I implore you to produce the receipts or face the consequences. How about that? How about that? Yeah, how about that? Produce the receipts or face consequences. Because like I said in the comment thread earlier, anybody, a pro se person can in fact argue and prove in this thread that you did slander and libel and defame. You think that much of our character that we would have to coordinate an attack to do what? To not get an answer? You didn't answer any questions, so what was the bad part of it? It's not like you gave up any information that was pertinent to our questions. But
they lucky. They lucky we got blocked because it only take me a few seconds. I am AI. I just want to say that.
Damn.
It only take me a few seconds. It only take me a few seconds to find what I need. Okay. Ooh.
Oh, my bad. Okay, so this is a lot of rage bait. So this White and Proud group, this is that group that got infiltrated by the black people. And so the black people are now just posting pictures in there and et cetera, but that's neither here nor there. I got to find the rest of this stuff because I know I sent a few of them to y'all. Or who did I send it to?
PQ.
I found it. Nailed it. I know I had it. Hold on. And folks, listen. We're gonna get to the city council stuff. Promise. I know this is gonna be a little hard to follow, but I got it.
I'm so glad you okay. You got your cool points back.
For what?
Because you found a screenshot finally of you.
I always have a screenshot of me. I have a screenshot of other people as well.
All right.
Yeah.
PQ.
So I started off by saying, first off, Jock, the vote, I told you to be careful on these posts because you're not so careful on your temper tantrums you call State of the City addresses. If you think that Malcolm needs to play dirty to defeat you at the polls, then you have truly lost touch with the people of this city. The fact that you feel that what we are saying is somehow a dirty tactic when we are, for the most part, repeating exactly what's been said or written. I do notice a pattern, though. You seem to want to talk tough to black people a lot. You've done it to the black councilmen and women before. You've done it to Cornelius White. You've done it to Jack and Steven from Urban Cast, and I don't care for them particularly. But a pattern is a pattern. I noticed the only black people you like are the ones that you can tell what to do. The perfect example is Reddix Washington and Roosevelt Johnson. Now you have McCaffrey and you got McCaffrey and Goins. You came out with Gary Johnson when he announced that he was running again, and it can only be a strategy that you're using him simply because you have an issue you've never faced before. People are tired of your bully politics. People are tired of your pie in the sky, last-ditch efforts to remain in office, and people are most certainly tired of not having their voices heard and ignored by this administration. I challenge you and Villard, if you truly feel like you've done a good job, then show the citizens in an open forum. No question previews, no deflecting, just a moderator and gentleman rules. I can't promise you won't get grilled about the Restore scam. I can't promise you won't get grilled about the fake data breach, but I can promise it will put an end to your suspicions that there needed to be a coordinated social media attack on your campaign page with less than 1.5K followers. It's an election season. You all should be available for public events. And if you or any of the people running don't show up, then we are right about your penchant for cowardice. It's your move, Jock, to vote. And then I said, and just to be clear, I am not calling you a racist. I just noticed how you use Van Dyke and you use Goings and you use Johnson and Perry. And just to be clear, I'm not saying you hate black people. It's just that when you and Lizzie gerrymandered those precincts and the literal lies you had to tell on Mr. Porter to justify your bullshit did seem borderline racist, especially given the context of why it was said. And that, friends, is what got deleted. And that's literally all I had to say.
Damn. Wow.
But of course, right? Of course, he's going to say that it's all our fault and he doesn't have time to deal with. You're not dealing with us. We're simply asking you to coordinate some type of effort with these other campaigns so all of you can be there at an open forum and you can answer questions. But I know you don't have it in you. I know you don't have it in you. I know the only places you're going to show up to is the Coughlin Sanders Center and the real estates, whatever Realtors Association bullshit that they do, because it's all rigged and fixed in your favor. But again, you're talking about votes, Jock. You're talking about people that are going to refuse to believe anything you have to say without you proving of what you're saying. Which leads me to my next point. Mr. Porter, guess what happened over the weekend?
You're going to have to fill me in. What happened?
Right. So all of a sudden, there's a cost-benefit analysis for Reignite.
Yes.
No, it's a market analysis.
Oh,
it's
my bad. It's a market analysis.
I did see that, yes, and I went through it, and absolutely, I did see that, yes.
What are your thoughts on it?
Okay, so one thing we will need to do, because I'm going off the top of my head, we need to put together a time schedule. All right, that market analysis was contracted by a firm out of Baton Rouge, and it's a professional firm, and that was in March of this year, March of 2026. Now, from what I can remember, he introduced this Reignite, all these projects. He introduced that in, I think, January 2025. I'll have to go back on the website and see. And it took him more than a year to get a cost-benefit analysis or market analysis done. And the thing is, that's the cart before the horse. You do the market analysis first, and then you come out and say, we've done this market analysis to show the justification for this project we'd like to do. And based on the information from the market analysis, we have designed this comprehensive project to take advantage of all the opportunities that were identified in our marketing analysis. Okay? They didn't do that. He came out with this hodgepodge concept of a plan. All he really had was a name, Reignite, and he used capital letters. And when you do that in English, that means that's an acronym. Each alphabet that's capitalized to make up that word stands for another word. is typically the first alphabet in another word. So it's an acronym. And when asked, what does reignite mean? Because it's all capital bold letters, he had no idea. It was just something that begins with an aura, like Roy, like Restore, like River. You know, all these projects he have that begin with an aura, and they are all capitalized, all acronyms.
It's a re-election initiative.
Okay, but I went through that, and I need to go back and spend more time with it. It is a well done market analysis, and actually it's not totally positive, okay? But what Jack Roy and his minions did, they just totally ignored and skipped over the elements that were not positive, and all they focused on were the things that were positive. But at the same time, that marketing analysis did not identify where the revenue would come from. I'm talking about the revenue that's supposed to be generated from the Reignite program. Remember, the Reignite program is to do one thing primarily, and that is to grow and generate revenue, right? They feel that the things they're going to do under the label of Reignite will cause businesses to come into that area and hire people and pay property taxes and things like that would generate revenue for the city. But the marketing analysis does not identify what businesses could come in, how much revenue can be generated from this $80 to $100 million investment, how that money would flow, the cash flow, how much comes in year one, how much comes in year two, and so forth, okay, throughout the life of the project. And it doesn't tell you what type businesses would come in. All we've heard from this Reignite, which is essentially Jack Roy's version of Donald Trump's concept of a plan. This Reignite is Jack Roy's concept of a plan. And the thing is, he's just throwing stuff out there to see what sticks on the wall. Children's Museum. And I'll tell you this, I don't know if it's even worth our time, but if we looked at the children's museums that he mentioned, the one in Baton Rouge, the one in Shreveport, let's look at the one in New Orleans and see how they're funded and look at how they're doing financially. And he's out here touting that a children's museum in the mall could be one of the best in the state. Okay, look at the three largest ones in Louisiana and see where that bar is set. And you tell me if you think somebody like Jack Roy or his minions, Craig Fish Lewis, Larry Turner, whoever is trying to rally the black people to get behind this Reignite concept of a plan. You tell me if you think Alexandria could actually match or exceed the Baton Rouge Children's Museum, the Shreveport Museum, the New Orleans Children's Museum, with funding, offerings, financial support, corporate support, things like that. You tell me if you really think Jack Roy and his group can pull that off. I'm going to tell you this, categorically no. There is no way in the world that team can do that. Okay.
Aren't most of those museums the size of the mall?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
they're huge, and look at their sponsors. They have so many philanthropic donors, benefactors that keep their things afloat. Look at their attendance. Look at the corporations that support them. The local corporations in each of those cities that constantly put money into it. Alexandria simply doesn't have that. We would have to import that from outside somewhere. And what it is those local corporations, local foundations who support that and keep that afloat. They keep it buoyed like that. We don't have that here in Alexandria. I don't know what kind of stuff Jack Roy is smoking. I'm telling you, it gotta be that blue ganja from Jamaica, dipped in embalming fluid.
He's fucking what? Mr. Porter, calm down. Let's go ahead and listen to Jay McCulley real quick. It's only 4 minutes.
New here at 6, a market analysis for the city of Alexandria's multi-million-dollar Reignite initiative is now seeing the daylight. And as Rob LaPro reports, that initiative, reimagining the Masonic Corridor, is spurring confidence in local business owners.
It scared me. I cried. The last day on my job, I cried the whole day because I was like, what if it don't work? What if everything fails? What if no one likes us? But I just did it. Just had to do it.
It was one of the largest risks of Naishla Smith's life when she and her family opened the Royal Onion.
Everything has to be lined out and prepped out. It still requires a lot of discipline. Even though you're an entrepreneur, you have to make sure you keep yourself grounded.
And then she took another risk during a relocation to Masonic Drive in Alexandria, the epicenter of the city's multi-million-dollar project, advertised as a sweeping reimagining and revitalizing of the Masonic Corridor, a section of Alexandria dubbed as a blended ecosystem of healthcare, retail, and recreation. But that project and its plans came as a shock to Smith, who was still getting comfortable in the new building.
I was like, oh my goodness, Reignite. This is part of that big project. And so my husband was like, what? And so I pulled it up on my phone because there were, at that time, articles about it. And I just like, man, you know what? That's nothing but God.
Smith is just one example of what the city of Alexandria says it's looking to bring to the Masonic Corridor as it looks to capitalize on the findings of its newest 21-page market analysis. In that analysis, experts say the city needs to capitalize on the recreational industry, make up for consumer demand, and promote the intake of more hotels and restaurants like Smith's, with data suggesting that only 68% of the city's demand is being met. And then the city needs to bring more younger college-age people back to the area.
So Reignite stretches across the city. We've already started redevelopment on every major city-owned park, but Masonic Drive just gives us that economic advantage because it connects multiple districts across the city into one singular point. It's the most developed corridor that we have in Alexandria.
Dr. C. Ray Lewis is the former chair of GATA, one of Alexandria's largest economic authorities, and now currently acts as the general chair of community engagement for Reignite. Lewis says Reignite looks to address the demands and shortfalls pointed out by the study, but there are some setbacks in its progress.
So the data shows that we need to move towards spending more locally. Restaurants here utilize the parks, utilize our small businesses that we already have. If we just 1% more here locally, I believe there's going to be a driving price to increase our sales revenue, increase our tax revenue, to where more investments. And when companies and other small businesses see that the local economy is growing because of local spending, they're more likely to not only come, but the current businesses can also expand.
The city also has another concern in the headlights. Data shows the city's population fell by around 4% between the years of 2020 and 2024. But in a silver lining, the median household income increased by 28% in a similar time frame. back in the Royal Onion kitchen, Smith is living day by day with optimism front and center.
I don't exactly have that fear at this point because I feel like the business speaks for itself now. I just love it. Like, I feel like I'm just happy to be here, like a part of this change for my city. I was born and raised here. My husband was, my children are. I'm excited for our families and our community. Like, this is a dream come true.
As you can see with Royal Onion, because people were spending locally, this is a prime example of expanding a local business because individuals stayed home and spent their dollars and had experiences here.
Reporting along Masonic Drive, Rob LaPearl, KALB.
And analysts have given recommendations on how the city can bring more people back, as well as how local universities can play a major role in revitalizing the area. We'll have a full synopsis on our website.
I've been holding that laugh in too because that was.
I couldn't help it. I had to laugh on that one.
You did a good job.
That
was hilarious.
Let me address the elephant in the room.
That was ridiculous.
It's funny that they got this study done and they're so ready to implement the results of this study. Meanwhile, 8 fucking years ago, they had a disparity study and they haven't addressed not one fucking thing off of that. Not one. Not one. The disparity study told you everything you needed to do years ago. I'm sorry, I got a little upset. My point is this. It's weird how some studies they'll follow and some studies they won't. It's weird how Crayfish Lewis is sitting up here touting for this study and has said shit about the disparity study. The disparity study had the roadmap on how to rebuild and equalize and stabilize Alexandria. That's why the council with Mr. Porter, all them, when they were on the council, that's why it was done. To show the disparity. Instead of doing that, you said, oh, screw the disparity study. I want to go reignite. I want to do Spark 6.9. My head just exploded. I'm sitting there thinking of, like, you guys went and had a whole nother study done. When all the answers you needed to actually move Alexandria forward was in the disparity study. It was right there in the disparity study. And that disparity study's been around for damn near a decade at this point. At least 5 or 6 years, at least 5 or 6 years. And you know about it because we talked about it briefly. You mentioned it briefly when you took office this time. So I know it's been around at least 4 years. Well, it would have to be 5 at this point. And you ignored it. You ignored it. So why would one ignore a disparity study? Why would not put 89 million to stabilize and equalize the disparities, the findings of the disparity study?
That would bring in revenue. That would bring in sales tax because the people who we're talking about in disparity study, if they had the opportunity, was to do business with the city. So that money would go right back into the city. Right?
Well, I don't know. I didn't read it all. I just heard about we have one. And so, I just wanted to go out and do another study. I got this big idea. We're going to corridor this shit up.
But again, like we said, if you go pick up that video where he talked and it had a list of everything he's doing now was in the Sparks list. So like I said, and I'll keep saying it, this is just a comb over of Spark. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Shame.
The Masonic corridor is in there. The mall is in that list. Is on that list.
Wait, Mr. Porter wasn't with us.
He didn't see. Oh, that's right. He didn't see it. So can you pull that video up?
But look, I I saw the list when y'all went back to Spark, and you had the whole list
Okay.
of the projects that was part of Spark, and most of those things on that list are on this Reignite list.
Sure is. That's right.
And
That's
the
so
thing
right.
about it was that the P in Spark was for parks, right?
Mhm.
And they had all the parks listed. They had Cheatham Park, they had Horseshoe, Deerfield, Quail Ridge Park, they had Morton Park, they had all the parks listed, the same parks we are begging them to assign a priority to and to upgrade. Those parks was on the Spark list. And whatever was done, it needs to be done again. Jack Roy claimed he did stuff in the parks and stuff. Well, whatever he did, those things are certainly in bad shape now. To be honest with you, I don't think he did anything. I think that was all smoke and mirrors. So, Salita, what you're saying is exactly true. Jack Roy recognized that we have a short memory and we don't follow things as closely as we should. So he can keep running the same play on us year after year after year. So he ran Spark on us, he ran Restore on us, he ran River on us, and now he's running Reignite on us. And guess what? The name has changed, but the game is the same. He's running the same play on us time after time after time. And here's something about that market analysis. It points out that we're losing 2% in population every year. It points out that we don't even spend our own money here. We go somewhere else. We'll go to Lafayette to spend money. We'll go to Baton Rouge to spend money. So and that is a sad state of affairs. We take our money, city money, and invest it in things that does not give us a payback. We'll do that Dixie Ute Athletic World Series, and we'll throw money at them, and we don't even get that money back when they come to the city. And the only thing the city gets when it makes investments like that, the only thing the city gets is a 2.5-cent sales tax off of anything purchased inside the city of Alexandria. And if a company comes in and upgrades a building, we'll get the property tax from that. Those are the only two things we get. 2.5 cents off every dollar that's spent inside the city of Alexandria, and whatever property tax we can get by them putting another building in service again, or if they expand a building, upgrade it, and we assess it at a higher value. That's all we get. Now, pickleball is not going to generate any revenue, and that was $1 million. The tennis courts will not generate revenue. That was $2.2 million. The splash pad will not generate revenue. That was $2.2 million. That walking track they're proposing will not generate revenue. So all these things they're talking about under Reignite for the $82 million will not generate revenue. Now, there's talk about attracting medical businesses to come in and occupy some of these buildings along Masonic Drive, or maybe even open up offices inside the mall. That will not generate business. First of all, the city of Alexandria does not own that mall. So if medical firms do see fit to come and open clinics or do medical things in that mall, they will be paying the owner of that mall rent. And the owner of that mall is who's paying the city of Alexandria property taxes. So we're getting that right now. Now, unless those medical facilities come in and do some major upgrades to that building that increases the property value and an assessment, that's the only way we're going to generate additional revenue. Now, if they come in there, if these medical facilities come into the mall, open clinics, open MRIs, open x-rays, whatever they might do in the medical industry, and they hire people, if those persons lived in Alexandria, then we would see some benefit from that because they would have a home. Now, that's if they're not already in Alexandria, okay? If they're already in Alexandria, that's not generating revenue. Now, if they bring people into Alexandria, they actually live here. Now you have people spending money here and maybe purchasing a home and paying property tax. Because understand, the only thing City of Alexandria is going to get is 2.5 cents on every dollar that's spent inside the city, and property tax on property that's owned, that these people own in the city of Alexandria. They'll pay that. This thing will not generate revenue. And that's what the marketing analysis alludes to when you read it from start to finish. They mention it's 21 pages. I read through it. I need to go back and spend more time with it. But this is pie in the sky. This is concept. These are pipe dreams of Jack Roy. And like I said before, I don't know what kind of ganja he's smoking, but it got to be powerful because this man is hallucinating and delusional, thinking that all of this is going to come about. And then he got people out there trying to sell this stuff. If we are foolish enough to allow this man to get back in office and he goes to the bond market and straddles our city, our citizens with $100 million bond, 42, 45, $50 million bond, whatever it is he's going to do, we're going to be stuck with that for the next 30 to 40 years. And we will not be able to pay for that.
There is no return on the investment.
None whatsoever. And look, the marketing analysis, that's why they called it a marketing analysis. It does not address what the revenue generation would be, how much money would come in if you spent this 82 million, what your return would be, how long it'll take to get this money. Does it take 20 years, 30 years? It doesn't address any of that. So they're saying, we're just going to look at your market and tell you what opportunities are out there. And we're also going to tell you what problems are out there. Two of the problems was mentioned. We're losing population 2% every year. And that has been constant. So you have a declining city, declining population. We have a high unemployment rate. We also have a very high poverty rate.
Yep.
So that means people don't have disposable income to be able to support this sort of stuff. So where is your funding or your revenue going to come from? And they don't, a marketing analysis doesn't identify that. A cost benefit analysis would. If you're going to spend $82 million, this is where your $82 million is coming from. This is where you will invest it. And this is the revenue that will come from your investment. And this is how long it'll take to get your money back. And this is your projected return on investment. So they're not doing that. And then the other thing is the timing. Reignite was introduced back in January 2025, and you wait 15 months before you commission a marketing analysis. God darn it, the marketing analysis should have been first, and then you roll out the Reignite program.
The market analysis and the benefit analysis should have been up front.
Exactly. Absolutely right. And anybody who is involved in business or economic development would know I need to do this first before I talk about doing anything else. And look, if you think back, remember Jack Roy tried to get a tax renewal on the ballot 5 years before it expired. Y'all remember that? And we blew the whistle on that. We shined a big, huge light beam on it to show people, and it failed. And then he tried to go through to bypass the city council and apply for a bond to the Louisiana Bond Commission to float bonds without getting the city council approval.
Yep.
And look, we barely dodged that bullet. You know, I was at the meeting, you was at the meeting, Linda Bell was at the bunch of us was at the meeting.
That meeting, that sure did.
And that's when we found out this low down son of a gun had already pre-filed an application with the bond commission, and now the deadline was on us, and he's trying to rush that through, pressure the city council to approve it. It was a matter of urgency. You got to approve it now because the deadline, this is Tuesday and the deadline is Friday.
Yep, I remember that.
Now, and I'm like, even if they approved it on Tuesday, you got to have something ready to go to get it over there before Friday.
Because he even had
out when the bond lawyer that Jack Roy had hired came to the podium and said, well, we already pre-filed the application.
Sure did.
And look,
sure said it.
The 4 black city council members didn't even know that. The 3 white city council members knew that. What kind of low down shenanigans is going on with Jack Roy and all the people that's supporting him for this Reignite program? C. Ray Lewis, Michael Caffrey, Jonathan Goins, Stacey West. I mean, all of them that's lining up behind him to try and convince the city that this is something good for us and good for you. No, it's not. And you can't even tell me where this revenue growth is coming from. Well, we have to grow the revenue in the city and all that stuff. No, you're not doing that. You're going to sink the city deeper in debt, just like you did in 2013 and 2014 when you did the G.G. Hunter and the Bayou Cove plant. We're still paying for those bonds, and we're paying high to the sky utility bills. And back then, remember what the selling point was? 2013, 2014. This is going to help lower our utility bills. Our utility bills have skyrocketed, but we fell for that, or we were not paying attention. And he pulled the wool over our eyes. He hoodwinked us. he bamboozled us.
Yep.
And now he's doing it again.
Mr. Porter, you read this FAQ like we did. And I just caught on to something. They said 45 million of it is coming from a city bond.
Right.
Where's that bond at?
That was what they tried to pass and didn't get passed. That was what they tried to sneak in at the last minute, telling the city council, you got to approve this. We have to get it in by Friday so that we would be, so the bond commission can consider it and we could go to the bond market.
So we don't even have this money.
No, we don't.
Man, I just realized that. I looked past it when we first read it. I would just, you know how you read things like, oh yeah, there's bond money, but that's not. We don't even have the money.
No, and look what they were going to use as fate and credit for that bond issuance. They wanted to use existing sales tax. Now, our sales tax, City of Alexandria sales tax, is 2.5 cents on every dollar. We have had that sales tax and it's been very flat. It doesn't go up. We've had that sales tax for quite a while. So now, if you go out, if the City of Alexandria goes out and float bonds for $45 million. Now, I'll tell you something, folks. He was going to float a lot more than $45 million, okay? He just lowballing us, giving us that lowball number, all right? Now, get this. You got sales tax that's flat. They were going to go to the bond market and say, we're good for the money. We can pay your interest and pay your principal back. We can pay the face value of the bond back to you over the next 30 or 40 years using the sales tax that we collect every year. But understand this, right now, without that $45 million bond, our sales tax is being used to do things in the city. And the City of Alexandria is not a rich city. We do not have enough money that comes into the city every year to do all the things that we really need to do every single year. We just don't have enough money. Now, you're going to take a portion of that money that comes in that's flat. It doesn't go up every year. It stays the same. You're going to take some of that money and now you're going to pay these bondholders back every year, their interest. That means the money you're paying the bondholders interest, that's money you don't have to put into the city. That you don't have enough money right now to do everything that needs to be done. You're going to have less money, which means you're going to get even less done. And this nonsense that Jack Roy and Crawfish Lewis is trying to sell people, that this will generate revenue. How much revenue will it generate year one? 0. How much revenue year 2? 0. How much revenue year 3? 0. Maybe in year 5, you might get a company that moves into the mall and do something. You might get a little revenue in year 5.
But I mean, you're still going to owe for the previous 4 years. You're still going to be in the hole from the previous, because if you're not making money, you're losing money.
Exactly.
We got Nat on the line. Nat, what's going on, brother? Are you seeing this?
Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Jack Roy remind me of the person at the casino that lost his last dollar, and now he's trying to sell some pecan candy to get back in the game. what he's doing is betting against something that he thought he was gonna have, and he don't have it. You remember when Malcolm asked him, because Malcolm was saying something about the housing, and he said, we don't have the money for it. Malcolm said, well, what about the reignite? And he said, well, you got the money for that? No, we don't have it. Well, how you doing it? Malcolm asked him that already before. But I wonder, is the citizens paying for that with these high fuel cost bills that they're getting on their utilities? Because, Mr. Porter, some of these bills, some of the fuel cost bills are doubling the usage of the electricity that people are using.
Yes, and our fuel cost has always been a separate charge, and based on the price of fuel, that determines how high that gets. So you got a charge for electricity. That is what we're charged for electricity, so many kilowatts per hour that you use at your home. But then
yes, sir.
The fuel that's required to generate that electricity, that's an extra charge.
Yes,
that's your fuel cost. Well, with all the nonsense that Donald Trump is doing, fuel prices have gone through the roof. You see it at the gas station. You're paying $4 a gallon for gas. Well, you're seeing it also on your utility bill, because the fuel, the oil, the natural gas, the coal, all of that they have to use to generate electricity, you're getting charged that as a fuel charge.
But Mr. Porter,
that has been going up, and that's why your fuel charge is so high and your utility bills are skyrocketing.
But Mr. Porter,
no.
When I look at our bill, our CLECO bill, that I maybe because they own their own utilities, but that's not across the board. And I'm with CLECO. That's not across the board.
No, this is City of Alexandria utility system. That's how they recoup the cost for fuel.
I knew it.
And the
I figured
increase
that out.
for
Okay.
fuel.
Because, see, Mr. Porter, some people, like I looked at a guy bill, his fuel cost was $56, and his light bill was higher, but his fuel cost was $56, right? Now, you get to Alexandria, the light bill is cheaper, but the fuel cost double.
Yes, right.
So
That's right.
I wonder, are they taking some of that money and putting it somewhere else? Come, Mr. Porter, it just not add up. Some money is going somewhere that we don't. These people just getting scammed some kind of way, because, and like I said, the utility bill is cheaper, but the fuel cost is higher.
Right.
That don't make sense to me.
Right.
You see?
And the reason is whatever it costs, people, labor, machines, things like that to generate the electricity, you're getting charged a certain amount per kilowatt hour that you use at your home, what goes through your meters. But
plus 800,000. Plus 800,000.
What you get charged separately is the cost of that fuel to generate that electricity. You're getting charged that as a separate charge. That's called the fuel charge. Okay.
What about the $800,000?
Yeah, and depending on how high the cost of fuel is, that gets calculated. There is a calculation that the city uses for that, and that's what you get charged.
So it's the city's calculations.
That's right. Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's the director of utilities in particular.
And they got to take it in consideration for the $800,000 that we got to pay every month too, right?
Oh yeah. Now look, that that's built into all of that. Yes, because that 800,000 is the interest.
You gotta pay it. You gotta
for those bonds that were issued in 2013 and 2014, because those bonds were floated on the faith and credit of the Alexandria utility system. That's how we're paying those bondholders back.
So they handcuffed us to the utilities.
It was issued that way.
Right.
It was issued for the Alexandria utility system, for DG Hunter and for Bayou Cove. So
they would do the same. They would do the same. Okay. So they would have to do the same thing for Reignite then, because the parks don't make no money to pay the Reignite money back.
Okay, but
none of these parks making no money.
At that first slide, Nat, the first slide said it was based on the sales tax. So it's going to use the exact existing sales tax, which is 2.5 cents on every dollar, to pay back these bonds. It's based on our.
We ain't making no money then.
Our sales tax has been flat. The revenue we get from sales tax has been flat. So, and we use up all of that money because we don't have enough money that comes into Alexandria to do everything we need to do every year. So now you start taking some money out of that to pay the interest to these bondholders. You now have even less money to do what you need to do in the city every year.
Yeah, that's dumb.
It's really all about maximizing how we use the bond money then, right?
Right.
Okay. Now
let me
why
throw
not
something
get a
else.
bond?
Say that again, Nat.
Well, why not get a bond for affordable housing then that you can buy? At least you're going to get tax money off of that and light bill money. Let's think about it now.
But you know what? You know what's interesting about that? Even
Yes,
if you did the affordable housing, you would get your money back. So you're not even paying the money away. It's coming back to you. It's coming back to you. It'll take a little while, but it's coming back to you. And meanwhile,
light bill, taxes.
You're putting up homes that's worth more than $75,000. Therefore, they are paying, the owners of these homes are paying property tax to the city, and the people living in those homes are living in the city. So when they spend money, you're getting 2.5 cents off every dollar that they spend. So that money's coming right back. So you see that nonsense C. Ray Lewis talking about local, buy local, spend local? That's exactly what that homeowner project would have done. Exactly that.
You bought
But
local?
if you were an astute business person, you would have recognized that.
They're not.
I in particular, this is the slide that I have an issue with the most. Simply because what they try to do is scare the people into accepting Spark, right? Which is vicariously scaring the people into making sure that they get that bond. Because again, just to point out, everybody, we don't have the money for Reignite. Okay, I want to make that clear. We don't have the money to do Reignite, and I'm not saying that we are can't afford it. No, we physically don't have the money to do it. The bond was never passed. He's putting us in a situation where they're forcing us to accept the bond. They're going to spend all other monies until you get the bond, because eventually we're going to spend money to the point where we have no other choice but to float the bond, which is his end game. So you have two futures.
Or, Tavares,
what's up?
Or listen to Thomas DeVete and raise the utility bill.
Oh man, they're already doing that.
Hey, you see what I'm saying? So they're going to get their money somehow.
He said it's two futures.
This is-
One without action, where the vacant mall property blights and spillover effects, lost federal match dollars, and a shrinking tax base. Or with Reignite, the citywide drainage benefits, reimagined downtown center, walkable family. Let me talk about this walkable stuff, because I'm so sick of hearing walkable. Listen to this, y'all.
The City of Alexandria has now commissioned a market analysis of Project Reignite. Now, that is the multi-million-dollar project slated to revive the Masonic Corridor. We have the report, and in it, it uncovers a lot of details about that corridor and the city itself, including walkability. How walkable is the city, and what portions of it are considered walkable? Now, we have a large, deep dive into all of the market analysis and Reignite itself over on our website. We have things like maps, we have the charts, we have all the statistics available right now, as I said, over on our website.
All right. Because
now listen, they're talking walkable, right? What's one of the major components of this Reignite Masonic Drive corridor? What is it they're touting that they're going to buy and use to get people around? Anybody remember?
Mm-mm.
They're going to get the trolleys, right?
The trolley.
Yeah, the trolleys.
The trolley.
They're going to buy new diesel-operated trolleys, and they're going to ferry people back and forth. Okay, why do you need trolleys if it's so walkable?
Yeah.
That transportation.
Yeah.
If it's truly walkable.
Well, I'm gonna walk to the door Emporium. I don't need the trolley to take me over there. Yeah, so I'm
It's right across the street from the golf course.
You wrong for that.
Yeah, we can get done putting a hole in one and go put a hole.
But again,
Mr. Porter, this how this don't make any sense. Mr. Porter, all medical businesses have, that's only for the hospital what they're doing, Mr. Porter. Because if you go to Houston, you have big old hospitals almost look like small towns. If you go to Dallas, you got hospitals that look like small towns. They could walk wherever they got to because it's right there. What does this have? What would District 1, 2, and 3 benefit off of this? And they lost the federal dollars because, hey, if you left it in the black district, you might have got some federal dollars. But hey, it's in District 4 now. But it's not adding up, Mr. Porter. This is dumb.
It does not add up. It does not add up at all. And look, you mentioned Adult Emporium. Okay, it's already there, so that's not new business that's coming there, right? That's already there. And
Are they going to benefit from? Are they going to benefit from Reignite?
Maybe they might get more traffic, off the trolley and the walkable paths.
We look, we don't judge.
No. Now, keep in mind, how did this come about? What did they have to do in order for this to also take place?
They had the gerrymander.
There you go.
They had the gerrymander. Damn.
There you go.
Oh, Mr. Porter. So listen, man, Mr. Porter, you missed so much last week. So I did the thing, right? And I utilized AI, and I asked AI to give me a cross-reference between Jock Roy and Lizzie gerrymandering and the Reignite program. Let me see if it's still up. I might have it still saved. Hold on.
So Jock Roy really betting against the stone. That's what they call it. He betting against the stone. He ain't got no money, but he gonna do it anyway. And what the black people don't understand is we are the number one spenders of money. They finna get something that we don't utilize. So if we're gonna have those pickleball courts, then goddamn it, we're gonna have kids from District 1, 2, and 3 at them pickleball courts every day, learning something. Hey, we got security guards over there. We don't have security guards at Franklin Hunter Park. We don't have it at Helen Black Park. We got security over there. We need to get together, take all our kids over to the pickleball courts and let them play. Hell, ask Stephen Chalk and Randy Washington to do it. They let them play. Let them play.
Damn.
Show up there on City Hall with all those kids with the signs, how let us play pickleball. Let us play cornhole.
Yeah, don't lose your mind. Don't lose your mind. I'm trying to fix it real quick. Hold on. All right,
Mr.
I think
Porter,
this is it.
I went to those parks, Mr. Porter, and they said they're gonna have what they call it, park security at all those parks. I only saw one car at one park. I didn't see no car at Helen Black Park. I didn't see no car at Franklin Hunter. I only saw a car at the pickleball court. Black people got to understand, you are not worth being protected. We just want your tax dollars. And we'll protect the white people. I'm good on.
My bad. I asked, all right, so I asked, who was this? Gemini. I asked Gemini. I said Gemini because I inputted the information about the gerrymandering, right? And then I asked Gemini, how does the Reignite plan factor into this? It says, in the context of Alexandria city governance and economic planning, the Reignite plan directly intersects with the redistricting dispute in two main ways: economic and community impact areas. Reignite is Mayor Jacques Roy's flagship revitalization initiative targeting major infrastructure, economic development, and healthcare recreational corridors, such as the Masonic Drive corridor, local mall projects, and surrounding neighborhoods. The mayor's veto heavily emphasizes protecting established communities of interest, arguing that altering district boundaries splits key commercial and residential hubs like the Garden District, South Alexandria, and City Park that are central to these long-term economic plans. The political alignment and council control. Because Reignite involves substantial municipal funding allocations, development priorities, and citywide resources, control over council seat boundaries influence which council members oversee specific development zones. The mayor frames the council's attempted boundary draw, Ordinance 129/2025, as a political ploy by specific members to exert control over local districts and legislative seats, which directly impact how major administration policies like Reignite move forward. It was a sham, Mr. Porter. The gerrymander was a scam. It wouldn't have worked. The Reignite would not work had he not gerrymandered. Because to maintain control over what happens in the Reignite corridor, he needed Lizzie Felter there. There could not be a third party. There could not be anybody else. That's why she ran unopposed.
Yep. And she lied and said it was for community.
It was for community. She just didn't tell you it was economic.
Yeah.
Look, Jack Roy tried to justify his veto, and he ran that 2-day marathon kangaroo court, and it was nothing but a sham. It was an absolute farce, and the only people got to speak was Elizabeth Felter, and she spoke ad nauseum, Jack Roy, and Trey Gist. And they tried to muddy the water, talking about it had nothing to do with race or violation of race based on the Voting Rights Act. That was never the point. That was never a point that was raised by us or anybody that was objecting to these gerrymandered districts. That was never the thing. So they took a detour and tried to use the Voting Rights Act against us. The Voting Rights Act was to protect us. They used it against us to justify what they were doing. So now here's here's an important caveat in this what you just read. It was very accurate. Two things that Elizabeth Filter maintained. They needed to protect their culture, and they needed to protect communities of interest, okay? And what they never said, what neither Trey Gist, Jock Roy, or Elizabeth Filter never mentioned in that 2-day marathon kangaroo court, was what are the common interests that you're trying to protect? You want to move your precinct back into District 4 because there are common interests there. So what are those common interests? Describe them, label them, identify these common interests that you're trying to justify this action on, and explain to me how those common interests are not shared by District 3 or District 2. Explain to me how those interests are so different from District 4 that you must move your precinct into District 4. And then the other thing was culture. Okay, define what culture you're trying to protect. Define what culture is so different in District 4 and in your precinct that is different from the culture in District 3 or District 2. Do you speak a different language? Do you worship with a different religion? Do you observe different traditions? You know, what are these differences in cultures that you're trying to protect and try to align your precinct with? You know, and none of those two things, they're two major foundations for justifying these gerrymandered districts. They kept throwing it out there. Communities of common interest, protecting a culture, preserving and protecting a culture. But you never identified what that culture is and what those common interests are. And then you went ahead and did it. And like you were pointing out, Tavares, okay, it was economic. It was political. They needed that vote, and they couldn't allow District 4 to have a 60-40 demographic, 60% white, 40% black, because if you get two white persons in a race with a black person in District 4, you might end up with a black representative in District 4. Or if you got 40% black in District 4, if one of these two white candidates will have to pander to the black community to get elected. And if they did, then if they are an honorable person, they're going to have to follow up and do some things for the 40% of that community. Or you could be low down like Jock Roy, pander for their vote, get their vote, and then totally ignore them until 3.5 years later when it's election time. Then you start paying attention to them, throwing them some crumbs, some scraps from your table. And we can no longer be satisfied with crumbs and scraps once every 4 years.
But Mr. Porter, my question is, Is this the truth about the gerrymandering?
Oh yeah, I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. It had a lot to do with it. They wanted to maintain District 4 as a safe district, and they wanted to definitely retain Elizabeth Felter in that seat, and they wanted to have control of that area where they hope to spend $80 to $100 million. And look, this is something that folks really need to focus in on. So if this Reignite program wants to go to the bond market on the faith and credibility and confidence of being repaid your money, if you purchase a bond from the city of Alexandria on the bond market, that your bond will be repaid, and it's going to be repaid from the sales tax. And we got years of showing this is what City of Alexandria sales tax is. It comes in at this amount almost every year. Okay, who pays the bulk of the sales tax? The poor people.
The bulk of the
okay?
people.
The poor people. Because we pay, we have very little disposable income. So every dollar that comes into our household goes out of our household to pay something. For food, for clothing, for gasoline, for whatever. And with blacks being 57% of the city of Alexandria and having the least amount of disposable income, we pay most of the sales tax. And those bonds are going to be based on the sales tax. We're paying those bonds. Now, when you look at property taxes, the 44% white population have higher income. They have higher value homes. So they're paying more money in property tax than what the 56% of the black population is paying. All right?
But should be.
56% of the black population is paying more of the sales tax than what the 44% of the white population is paying. So when you float a bond based on sales tax, you're talking about the poor people, black and white, who have zero disposable income, who spends every dollar that comes into their household. Those are the people paying those bonds back.
Yeah. Hey, Tavares, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, this the day that Tap Dance and Toby put on their performance. Am I right? They bled and died. They bled and died.
They
that
did.
was the day
Please,
he did it,
don't
right?
don't trigger Miss Linda Bell. I know she's watching. Please do not trigger.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's the day that Tap Dance and Toby did all that stuff right there. Even he was in on it with the black against the black people.
Wait, hold on. I need a point of order. Who voted against who voted against the gerrymander?
Against the 4 black council members.
And who voted for it?
The 3 white council members.
And nobody abstained?
No, not on the gerrymandering. No.
So you're talking about Villard?
Villard voted for the gerrymandering of the city districts. Yes. And because it passed 4-3, it went to the mayor. The mayor vetoed it, but before vetoing it, he held that dog and pony show, that kangaroo court, for 2 days, and then vetoed it, and then wrote that heinous veto message Okay, and we need to keep that and go over that before November 3rd. Just like when he vetoed the Gator ordinance, we need to pull that one out and go over that, because we got to keep that fresh in people's minds before they vote. They need to realize what this man is all about.
What I did, Mr. Porter, is the way that I got to that answer with Gemini is I fed Gemini that document about his veto message. I fed it the veto message, and I added in that Lizzie Felter ran unopposed. And then I asked it about how does Reignite cross-reference with the gerrymander. And that's when he gave me that answer. And what I understand now with your clarity is that Reignite wouldn't have happened unless they gerrymandered those districts. And that it appears that all the white councilmen were in on it.
Oh yeah, they were all briefed. It's the black council members that did not have the luxury of being briefed on that.
What a shame. What a shame.
So the question is, do we want to continue having these trickeries and the city continue going down? Or do we want somebody in there who's paying attention and making solid, good decisions that's going to bring in revenue and guaranteed revenue by the businesses that come here? Another thing we might need to look into is the incentives when these businesses come. Because again, when they give them those utility incentives, we went over those before, when they give them utility incentives, you guys are paying what they're not paying.
Exactly. That is.
Just want to let y'all know that.
That is the case. You're absolutely right.
And those incentives can go over 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
They can go over 5 years.
Well, wait a minute, Mr. McCall. I said that, and Doc Rodham said I was lying.
Well, that's in writing on their website talking about utility incentives because we showed it on the show. We pulled it up on the show.
The utility incentive was another linchpin situation. Mr. Porter was on the council at that time, and he did try to get that section of the city charter redone to where those incentives would be made public, and it wouldn't just be in the control of the mayor and the director of utilities, because you guys will never, ever find out which one of these businesses have been incentivized with utilities.
Exactly.
Unless they tell you.
Yep.
That's right. And look, the ordinance I introduced was, first of all, to eliminate it. Okay. And that got no traction. And it was Jeff Hall that was against it. And Michael Marcotte. The second ordinance I introduced was that if we're going to give this to these businesses, let's make sure they hire people that live in Alexandria. Because the way it was written, all you had to do was hire folks. They could be from Pineville, Woodward, Natchitoches. They didn't have to be from Alexandria. And like you pointed out, in both of my ordinances, it was that they must show us every year that they still have these people on their payrolls to be able to qualify for that reduction, that discount to continue. But the way it was, you gave it to people and you had no idea if they even hired anybody, let alone somebody from Alexandria. We were just giving it away.
You said you wrote an ordinance?
Yeah, I introduced an ordinance. Yes.
Wait. I'm getting confused. How did you write an ordinance and you was district councilman too?
What you mean? I wrote the
Well, I mean, well, something's wrong because the city council that they got now haven't written any ordinance at all. So
come on.
Okay, my bad.
I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there.
Hey, Tavares, talking about those incentives, I'm getting ready to send you the website. It's called Growth in Alexandria. Hold up. Let me send it to you so you can put it on the board. On the screen. Give me 1 second.
But I'm just going on the last 4 history. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because the last 4 years, I haven't seen no ordinance. And Mr. Porter, to top it off, you don't write an ordinance just benefiting District 2. You write ordinance that benefits almost the whole city every time.
Absolutely, every time. The housing ordinance that benefited every area. And look, this is why reading is fundamental. And folks, if you're going to elect somebody to represent you on the city council in your district, you need to elect somebody who is somewhat knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Because remember, Reddix Washington voted against the housing ordinance that I introduced. And he voted against it for 2 reasons. He said, one, it was illegal. And that you showed from the state constitution in the first paragraph, it allows municipalities to do exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was not illegal.
Yes, sir.
So that person had no knowledge of what they were talking about. The second thing Reddix Washington said to justify his vote against the housing ordinance was that it was only for my district. And it was not. It was for the entire city. The problem is District 4 and District 5 have hardly any adjudicated properties. Of the 1,800 adjudicated properties we had at that time, 1,600 of those 1,800 properties were in districts 1, 2, and 3. It would have benefited his district. He voted against it.
Well, that's the 2 reasons that you got. The reason he told me he voted against it is because he's a hoe.
Wait, you can't say that.
I mean, that's on.
We have a lot of leniency on this show where we can say things with out of impunity, but calling someone a hoe.
No, sir. I did not call him that. That came out of his mouth.
Oh, well, that's different.
I don't get it. No, I repeat what he said.
Oh, okay.
He said, "Well, I did it because I'm a hoe." Then, okay. Well, that, I wouldn't call him out his name like that, but he said that. So that's 3 good reasons right there. So
that was his own admission. That was under his own admission.
That was his own free will. Listen, I need both of you guys to straighten up and act right. We got a lot of stuff listen, I'm not going to be able to get to the city. I'm glad we had this conversation instead. I'm going to be honest with you. But hold on. Is this it? Wait. Oh, wait a minute. This is it, isn't it?
Yeah. Why did you take it down?
Why you voted against for the house?
Because I'm a hoe.
Is that the occasion that we're talking about?
But that ain't right, dog. You know that.
No, why don't you find out all the facts about it?
Is this the conversation we're talking about?
Reddix, they doing it. Reddix, they doing it.
Is there audio? Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, we can hear
it. In Riverbend?
That ain't what the plan was.
That was the same thing. That's what you didn't know. You read a headline.
Reddix, it wasn't the same thing. Reddix, they do the same thing in New Orleans, Reddix.
Okay. That's New Orleans. This Alexandria.
It's the same thing.
Same way. That's over there. I'm right here.
Reddix, the law is passed where we can sell the lots.
Now, if that's the case, we wouldn't be right here, this raggedy building.
And look, he's absolutely wrong. Riverbend is not
the
same
that's right.
thing that I had presented.
It sure isn't. It sure wasn't.
And he said, you read the headline. God darn it, you can't even read. If you could read, you would have known the difference between the two.
Exactly.
If you could have read my ordinance, you would have recognized this is nothing like Riverbend. But he cannot read. Reading is fundamental, folks.
Moving forward, utility incentives to support. Who we got on the Miss Selena, it's your idea. Would you like to go through the parts that you want to highlight?
Okay, hold up. Let me pull it up again. Okay, so when you go under eligibility, let's go over under eligibility.
Eligible businesses?
Yeah.
Eligible businesses mean a new or existing business that locates or is currently located within the corporate limits of the city of Alexandria.
No, I'm sorry. That's not where I want you to go. Just look at the table. It's a table right there. Where are you at? Go to the table.
One.
Yeah,
Table
look at the
one.
table.
Right
I'm
there.
sorry. Okay. So if you see how this is broken down, is utility incentives may be offered to eligible facilities or preferred facility that qualify as determined by the city's economic development initiatives and goals. The amount of discount to be offered will be determined using the following table for new value and new employment created within the particular CRA or the general corporate limits as appropriate. So minimum value of the business is that 500 million? And you have
500,000.
I'm sorry, I can't see that. I don't have my glasses. 500,000. So you have 5 employees. That business is 1 eligible, schedule number, and 2 preferred. So these right here are how much the value of the business is. And these are how many employees you have to have. Okay? Depending on the schedule for which the business qualifies, a percentage of water, gas, and electric utility services charges may be abated on an eligible facility or a preferred facility as followed. So 1 year, they get 15% off. 2 years, 20% off. 25%, 30%, 35%, and then even goes, like I said, over the 5 years, 35%. So look at how much of a percentage that they don't have to pay. I'm sorry, the rest of it, they only have to pay 25%. The discount is 25%, for instance. And whatever else is left on that bill, you pay it. Now, notwithstanding any provision of these sections, the schedule of abatement shall not be interpreted to apply to any commodity, purchase, gas adjustment, or energy cost adjustment charges. Utility incentives shall not be applied to any utility service used in the construction, testing, commissioning, or other non-commercial purpose of the eligible or preferred facility. Preferred facility. Incentives shall become effective only upon the full commercial operation of the eligible or preferred facility. This is how you apply for it. The minimum requirements and criteria. 1, employment and development. Any request for incentives shall be initiated prior to beginning construction of the proposed projects. The minimum amount of new employment will be provided as described in this document as follows. At least 35% of the jobs provided will be made available to the residents of the city, and at least 65% of the jobs provided will either be made available to the residents of the parish of Rapides or be composed of existing employees that relocate to the parish of Rapides. And compliance with the requirements of local hiring will remain in effect for the entire period that the economic development incentives are being offered. And the applicant must be investing at least the minimum new value as described in this document, and the proposed project must be in compliance with the city's master site planning, zoning ordinance, building codes, and all other applicable city ordinances. Offsets and adjustments. The assessed value of any property that is demolished will be subtracted from the value of the property replacing it. for the purpose of calculating the portion eligible for incentives. A maximum of 2-year construction period from the date of execution of the corporate endeavor agreement shall apply. I'm not going to read more of that. But this is where you get that information from. Now, look, they have other incentives. Upon approval of the mayor, projects that meet the minimum utility incentive criteria and that have a minimum new value of $10 million may also be eligible for the following economic development incentives. Reduction of plan review fees. Listen at this. Building permit fees, inspection fees, sign permits, or other similar administrative costs associated with the initial construction or remodeling of the eligible facility or preferred facility.
Now, let me tell you something. That is what Larry Turner and Christian Love received.
Yep.
That right there. In addition to the other incentives as well. So look, what I tried to change, first of all, I tried to wipe that out because I asked the city. Now, understand, Jack Roy was out of office, but Jack Roy and Michael Marcotte, they implemented this program. Jeff Hall was mayor at the time. I wanted to wipe that entire program out. And the reason I did, because I had requested what were the entities, organizations, facilities receiving the incentives. Now, Michael Marcotte would not reveal that information. Okay. So they wouldn't tell us how many incentives are in force at the time and who's receiving it and what the percentages were. Because you see, it was Michael Marcotte making those decisions. And when they say preferred facilities, that was all decided by Michael Marcotte and Jack Roy, before Jack Roy left office. So with the absence of that information, I'd say, well, since they cannot provide that to us, we have no idea what this program is costing us. So let's eliminate this incentive altogether. And my ordinance was to eliminate that. And that's what I had submitted, because this is nothing but a good old boy hookup. And like you pointed out, Salita, that electricity has to be paid for, that water, that natural gas. And if you're giving somebody a discount, who has to pay it? The city has to pick up the difference. And who provides the money so that the city can pick up that difference? The taxpayers, the citizens. So it comes right back to us.
Yep, sure does.
A boomerang. It circles right around and hit us in the back of the head. We have to pay that for those incentives. And then get this nonsense about the parish. In my ordinance, I was changing that to you had to be eligible for any incentive, you had to hire people that worked in the city of Alexandria. And here they were saying anywhere in the parish. Well, guess what? The parish does not use, if you're outside of Alexandria, you do not use Alexandria utility system. So
That's
you're
right.
not paying. You are not paying into the system. And if you're outside of the city of Alexandria, you're not paying any property taxes because you live outside the city of
Exactly.
Alexandria. So none of those. Why are you going to give somebody an incentive and they're not putting anything into your system at all?
That don't make any sense.
None whatsoever. If I'm baking cakes and I want you to buy my cakes, but I will not buy the sugar or flour from you or milk that I need to make the cakes. I won't buy it from you. I'm buying it from somebody else. But I still want you to buy my cakes. What sense does that make? And
sense at all.
We're giving them
and I'm sure
incentives.
you wanted at a reduced price too.
Yeah. And we're giving these people incentives, and they're not hiring our folks, and they're not living in our city, and they're not contributing to our revenue whatsoever. They're not contributing. They're hiring people who live in outside the city in the parish, and those persons, and we're giving them this percentage discount based on the number of people they're hiring. If you hire 5 people, we give you this discount. You hire this many, we're giving you a discount. And oh, by the way, these people do not need to live or be from Alexandria.
Now, Mr. Porter, to Nat's point, what we were talking about earlier, and I'm so glad that we got the people that are watching right now that are able to consume this with us live. I want people to know that there is a charge for those the 75% that they pay, that 25% that they don't pay. It gets dispersed across the board against all of your bills.
Yep.
That's right.
And you've been paying it. Matter of fact, the restore scam. Listen. Y'all just have to pay closer attention to what's happening and the order in which things happen. Because before there was a reignite, there was a gerrymander. Before the gerrymander, there was a veto. Before the veto, it was the ramp. They rammed through the gerrymandered maps. They bypassed all the rules to ram through those unverified, unfair maps. They're unfair maps. They go, the maps that you have now, the maps that you will be voting with in November, are the maps that do not adhere to the city charter. And you have an administration, and you have an unopposed candidate, and you have Jim Villard, who all were in cahoots to do so. So there is a way to trace to how we got here. Because if you guys remember, when the Restore scam first started, they were having an issue. Marcotte said the businesses were included. Jock said the businesses weren't included. Reddick said the businesses were included. So,
but why was some of them businesses having problems paying their bills?
You mean they couldn't have guesstimated and paid? Yeah, well.
I'm just saying, why were they having problems paying their bills?
I didn't think about that.
Because
and then you got to see if any of those companies that were if they were part of it, were they also the ones who got these incentives? Because I told you those incentives go from 5 to 6 years. Did you see where it said 6 years on that schedule table?
Yes.
Up to 6 years.
Oh yeah, the citizens had to pay from the bank that I think Richie just bought. That building that Richie just bought had tenants in it.
He got some good utility incentives off of that one.
Well, no, we were already paying the back pay because the guy that previously owned it left it with a $35,000 utility bill.
It sure did. So where did that bill go? Did he pay it when he bought the building?
Oh, I'm sure he did not. I'm sure.
I was like, "Are you being rhetorical right now?"
Look, because look, built into our charter, what happens is at the end of every year, the city of Alexandria has to reconcile all of their utility costs. So if and remember, we're part of MISO, right? So we don't determine what our fuel cost is. MISO does that, how much we pay for fuel.
and we don't determine who gets the free electricity. Okay, so when you look at the total amount of electricity City of Alexandria use, we must pay for that. All right, there is no free electricity that comes to the City of Alexandria. We must pay for it. And then you look at what did we bill, who we billed and how much we collected. And the reconciliation comes from the amount that we owe MISO minus how much we collected. And if there's a difference, that amount of money the very next year is divided up over the 24,000 users. So let's say if it was $2 million, we took that 2 million, divided it by 24,000, and every one of those persons got a particular share of that. That's how we reconcile our differences with the City of Alexandria utility system. So that means that whatever was unpaid, the rest of us pay for it the next year. And it's spread out over the next 12 months. So let's say if it ended up being $12, each of us would pay $1 a month for the next month to cover the unpaid amount of the year before. So it gets written off. It gets not written off, paid off. So when that guy shows up to buy that building and it had a $35,000 amount due, yeah, he doesn't pay that because we've already paid that for him.
Meanwhile, our lights getting cut off because their lights was cut off.
Right.
That's ridiculous. Folks, I guess Thursday is the day that we're going to get into the city council meeting. I wanted to have this conversation, and I'm so glad Mr. Porter was here. I'm actually really glad that everybody showed up like you guys always do. But I'm going to debate whether or not we do the catch-up show tomorrow, where we catch up with the city council meeting tomorrow, or do I just wait till Thursday? I have to noodle that over in my noggin, because you do have to have the bandwidth to engage in this and to get to the finer points of it, to not get people bogged down in the rhetoric, and to get to the brass tacks of what these matters is. It is very taxing on your brain, unless you're Mr. Porter, who isn't. He says it doesn't take a rocket scientist to deconstruct all this, but he just happens to be a rocket scientist. So, I mean, when you got those things at your benefit, you gotta have them. You gotta have them. So that's also an encouragement. Hold on, because I gotta play our song tonight. That's also an encouragement. You guys get involved with the campaigns of Brother Greg Scott, Brother Green, who's running for city marshal. Get involved with Mr. Porter's campaign, who's running against Gary Johnson. Get involved in these mayoral campaigns. Whomever you may pick, you know what side we're going with. But we don't want our decisions, as Jacques said, to reflect, to all we want you guys to know is that you need to get involved. If you can't ask these questions to these people, then don't even worry about. I wouldn't worry about voting for them. I really would. If you can't answer some of these questions in detail and I mean, you just got to know, folks. You just got to know. And Jacques Roy is definitely the worst candidate that you could pick out of this mayor's race. He is. And he's proved it. Jim Villard is the worst candidate that you could pick. And he is, because he proved it. He was in cahoots with Jacques Roy. And if there was anybody running against Lizzie, she would be the worst of the two. But of course, I don't know what they had on the back end, but she set everybody else down. She's done such a bang up job for District 4 that it was like, oh, we're just going to keep her. But
she got rewarded. She got rewarded when she did that gerrymandering. That's why nobody didn't run against her. That was the reward.
safer. Her seat was safe. But y'all get involved. If you don't know what's going on, tune in to YSKT. YSKT, in spite of what Jock says about us being liars and this and that and working for Malcolm and all this other stuff, man, put it under your hat, Jock, because I'm gonna tell you the truth. You sad clown, you. The truth is, we use the paperwork. We, just like on this show, we use the paperwork. And we know there's not a lot of people digging through this paperwork, especially what's on the screen right now. We know there's not people digging through this paperwork. So you can't refute this paperwork because it's literally what you wrote. Plus, you got this clown.
Rick, why you voted for housing? I was out here. Why don't you find out the facts about it? Why you voted against for the housing? Because I'm a hope. Why don't you find out all the facts about it?
Remember, Jock, you endorsed him. You backed him. Just like you're backing Gary Johnson. Just like you backed Roosevelt in the past. You always back our sellouts. And we should be able to deal with our sellouts in-house. We don't need them out speaking for all of us. We don't. We need them doing chores in the house. Since you want to sell out, we're going to have to make you work it off. You're going to have to come in this house. You're going to have to clean up the floors or whatever the hell the black community needs you to do for being a sellout. But that's neither here nor there. Take the emotion out of it. Leave the logic. I can get mad enough for everybody. But keep the logic. If it doesn't sound logical, it's not. I promise you it's not. But I'm going to go ahead and let Miss Alita go through the list. We're going to wrap this show up because I didn't anticipate being on this long, but I'm glad we did. Again, I'm glad that we got this information out. This is just more stuff for this current administration to kind of deflect from, because they're gonna come out with something in the next couple days. There's gonna be an announcement from Jock, and he's gonna say, "Well, these people out there are saying the reignite was this, that, and the third." No, we told you what it was because we read the paperwork. Anything else, any deviation that he comes up with after this is simply just a deflection from the truth, and that's that. So I'll go around the horn. If anybody has any parting words they want to leave, Miss Alita, you can read the list for me, and we can play this song and get amped up about going to go vote in November.
Anybody got any lasting words? I just want to say one thing, you guys, real quick. You guys got to start reading and comprehending what you're reading. And if you have any questions, we are always available to answer as many questions as we can. We're not going to look up all the information for you, but we will answer the questions as we can. Mr. Porter, I'm quite sure when he's available, he can answer any questions you have. If you're not sure about something, don't forget we got to do the constitutional amendments too, Mr. Porter. So we have some other stuff coming up, you guys. We just got to get ready for this one, because I'm telling you right now, on the national level, I know we're talking local, but on the national level, from what they're saying, Trump is going to try to stop the election for November. So I just want you guys to be prepped and know who you're voting for. Vet your candidate. Vet your candidate. Vet your candidate. Find out who, if they've already ran before or they're sitting in a seat right now, look at their voting record, especially when it comes to what you guys needed in your communities and in your district. Watch who voted no, because that's where you're going to know. If you let that person back in there again, they're going to do the same thing. So I'm just saying, because they don't change. You got two of them on there, been on there for over 20 years. They haven't changed how they voted. None of them have changed how they voted. So you have to keep that in mind. Vet your candidate. Okay, I'm sorry.
You gotta do the names.
I thought anybody else had something to say.
No, Mr. Porter. You got something, Mr. Porter?
I think y'all covered it. So, good
I don't want to beat a dead horse, Kick it in the side a little bit. Make sure it's dead.
Is Shamir on there?
No, Shamira's gone.
Okay. So, Gregory Scott, thank you. Mr. Turner, you know you always thank you. We have LaTanya Walker, thank you, sweetie. Miss Renee, Tina Renee, thank you. Miss Jacobs, thank you. Gorell, thank you, Mr. Gorell. Miss Carter, thank you. Miss Colson, thank you. Let's see who else came in the house. Latasha, come on, Latasha. Thank you. Miss Bell, I see y'all tomorrow night. Thank you. And let's see if there's anybody else. Boy, we had a good. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for coming in and joining and talking and interacting with us in the chat. We love that. Thank you guys so much. And you guys have a great night.
Okay.
Mr. Porter, please don't fly off to Italy or anywhere.
Abu Dhabi is the next.
Yeah,
stop.
Abu Dhabi,
not until March.
Bahrain.
Oh, Bahrain.
Yeah,
Bahrain.
Not until March.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Well, that's good news. Woo. Well, what else? What could I leave y'all with? I need a good screenshot to leave y'all with. Yeah, man. If you see us out here cutting up on these damn these Facebook streets, y'all just listen. Don't judge us. If we wrong, tell us we wrong, you know. But if we right, don't hesitate. Do not hesitate. Oh, we got a whole bunch of video. Oh, that's what it was. All right. I got the stuff to go out with. All right. So that's it, guys. We out. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Porter, as always. And thank you
yes,
guys.
definitely.
Mr. Porter is a gift and a jewel all in one.
That's right.
We're out of here.
We loved him dearly.
What? Who do you think is telling?
So, yeah, Noah was like a brother to us.
I got my money on him. His attorney's in his corner, kicking him, making sure he stays on script.
The dude, even though he's getting with one of our other buddies' exes.
That's telling. But the body language, they can't even hold it in. If Warren's the only one affected, then Warren's gonna flip. Obviously, Wyatt knows who was hidden. But you ever think, where the fuck is Bart? Katie or Wyatt? It took 38 days to age him. We call that fucking karma.
Why aren't we in jail yet? I mean,
They could admit it. They can go to anyone but a cop. They can attack Nolan's mom in an interview, but whose mom are they taking attention off of?
I had to call her like 8 times before she picked up because either her service was bad, she was on the back side of the aisle, on the south side, or mine.
His neck keeps getting longer. His mom is weighing his shoulders down. He just keeps lying about where she was. Well, that's stressing knowing who did it, and so having to keep shutting his brother's mouth, his grandpa called the Cito. So why would they do an interview if they did nothing wrong? Doesn't even make any sense. Why would they change what we think? Why wouldn't they just go to the cops and show them evidence? I need Bart, Katie, and Wyatt to come to the front.
Shut up, please. You're out of order. Miss Fields is nasty. You nasty. You's a nasty woman.
Point of order.
What's your point?
Mr. Mays cannot use that type of
Done it. I use
name call.
I'm not gonna quit until she quit being nasty in her official capacity. She's a nasty elected.
Point of order.
Point of order.
Must be removed if he
No.
persists in calling me.
But he waving his hand at me like it ain't a damn thing, like I ain't.
Come on. Come on.
I'm getting tired of these people, man. I mean, it's very disrespectful.
I am going to finish saying this.
Well, go ahead.
You can just sit your tail down in the seat and you'll know what's going on in the meeting.
I ain't got no tail, girl.
Mr. Mays, that's improper. I can't speak without having someone overtalk me, point of order, and also make mimicking things like that. I mean, is that an order, Mr. President?
I'm just telling you. I'm gonna let you talk.
Who you talking to? You gonna let? The voters let me. I got voted in. Who you talking to?
But you playing on your phone.
No, I'm not playing on my phone. I'm taking care of business. I'm not studying what you're talking about.
I know you ain't stuck.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I need a translation. I have no idea what I ain't studying actually means.
I'll translate that. I ain't studying you in the regular language means I really don't care what his position is based upon his political motives.
Thank you for clarifying.
That's one definition of I ain't studying what he's talking about. I can give 2 or 3 more in the King's English.
190208 is not in this, right?
In the middle of a business meeting, usually you gone. So you can come closer and get me, because I came closer when I got you knocked out. And if you want to laugh, here go a clown outfit for you. If you want to put this on and clown, it's ready for you. Because when you clown, I'm a double clown. I want everybody from this day forward to remember when I talk about Kate Fields, I'm reacting to her nastiness. I'm never gonna stop. When I talk about Eva Worthing, who runs with Kate Fields, it's gonna be reacting to their nastiness. Okay, what's your point?
Do you know that you speak constantly when others are speaking?
That ain't a point of information. You're out of order. You're using it to take the flow. You're out of order. Can you sit there and be quiet like I did when you spoke? Can you do? You out of order. This is your second warning, third warning. What you say?
Are you going to scream and yell at my face?
Yeah.
Alexandria, Louisiana. Stand up! Yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey! Stand up, put your hands up. Whole city tired, man, they can't stand up. Crime going up, water look brown. Bills too high, got the whole town down. Stand up, put your hands up. If you love your city, better man up. For the key, for the elders too. If nobody else care, then it's up to you. Taxation without representation. Trying to save the city before we save the nation. Every month another bill, another situation. People barely living, tired of frustration. Lights high, water high, rent high too. Whole hood stressed, what we supposed to do? Mama crying, daddy working overtime. Still can't win, man, this world out of line. But we ain't backing down. Tell the whole town gather round. If you hear me, say it loud. Stand up, put your hands up. Whole city tired, man, they can't stand up. Crime going up, water look brown. Bills too high, got the whole town down. Stand up, put your hands up. If you love your city, better man up. For the kid, for the elders too. If nobody else care, then it's up to you. Hands up, like Mike Brown. Pain in the streets, got the city pipe down. Young boy lost, trying to find their way. Need real men, standing up today. If you a leader, then lay it right now. Don't wait till the whole thing burn down. Church folks, hood folks, come together. Real change only happen when we move together. Stand up for the north side. Stand up for the south side. Stand up for the east side. Stand up for the west side. Everybody say stand up, stand up. Hey, 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 hey. Stand up. Stand up. Put your hands up. Whole city tired, man, they can't stand up. Crime going up, water look brown. Bills too high, got the whole town down. Stand up, put your hands up. If you love your city, better man up. For the kid, for the elders too. If nobody else care, then it's up to you. Hey. Alexandria, we still here.